Hello and welcome to coverage of the TCGPlayer Invitaional. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Frank Lepore. And we are just underway here in round 5 of 7 on day 1, Frank. And it's been a really action-packed day. And it looks like Peter Hagedorn has come ready for action here, wearing, looks like camouflage. Oscar Jones on the other side of the table.
Well, his opponent probably can't see him right now.
Right. Is on green-red Devotion. Both players sitting at 4-0, looking to put together a run here. And Jones decides on a Nykthos, which is going to be read by Peter. That can't be good news for Peter if he hasn't seen that one.
And he's 4-0.
Yeah, maybe he was just taking a moment to make sure it was what he thought it was.
He's like, is this a foil Nykthos? Let me see how good that looks.
Yeah, does look sweet.
Yeah, the art on foil cards is sometimes sweeter than the art on normal cards. Not to say it's different, but it just looks cooler. Oh, see? And he's a foil fan himself.
It looks like he is.
He was probably just like, yeah, that looks like that's a good foil.
Warden of the First Tree. A lot of text on that. Oscar's going to give it a quick check.
There is actually a lot of text on that. Almost as much, or perhaps more even, than Figure of Destiny.
Indeed.
You think they're related? Maybe like brothers?
I do not think so, no. I think it's just a mere coincidence.
And Apple Falls pretty far from that Kithkin tree, I guess.
Indeed.
Look at this hand. It's like 2 Corsair Cruvis, 2 Atarka, a Crater's Claws, a Rattleclaw Mystic. Uh-oh. He played that behind his lands.
Yeah, he did. You gonna be that guy, Oscar? All right. All right, buddy.
We see how it's gonna be.
We can rumble. So we'll see if Peter wants to level up his...
To next level this guy.
Yeah, it actually matters because of the Crater's Claws in hand for Oscar. Because now it's going to put it out of range. And he's going to have to hit a land drop and use up his whole turn to kill it here. And if the...
And that guy shoots right up to a 3-3 as well.
Yeah, he's a 3-3.
3-3's a pretty sizable body.
Right, and so Oscar's going to have to be concerned about that, though. It won't be a 3-3. It'll be a 3-3 for quite a while, so if he wants to lay off of it, he can for a little while.
Yeah, next turn, the most he can do is give it lifelink. Yeah. And what's the other ability? Something else?
5+1/+1 counters.
No, that's the third one. I think
trample.
I think it's life. Yeah, it's lifelink.
It's lifelink and trample for the second ability. Yeah. Which isn't bad, but it's sort of a stepping stone in this case, because when it gets to huge status, then that's great. But here, this probably won't end up playing out in a race situation. So Peter's going to be incentivized to keep developing his board as opposed to dumping his mana into this Warden.
Yeah, if you dump 6 mana into that guy, that's the point I'm going to kill that thing. Or at least worry about killing that thing.
Wow, this is a blowout.
Well,
check this out. He's going to have his Warden of the First Tree fight Rattleclaw Mystic and force Oscar to sacrifice an enchantment. That's the Corsair Crew fix. And by the way, Thumpia for 3, so nice start here for Peter Hagedorn.
Dramoka's command is a real thing.
He is hunting in the weeds with that jacket, and boy, did he get Oscar off guard with that one.
He didn't see it coming, you might say. That play was camouflaged.
Indeed.
Land on top, let's see it.
All right, so that 3 does not represent any number of +1/+1 counters, but in fact is the base power and toughness of that Warden of the First Tree, which is currently sitting at 3/3.
Might be better to put it on a 1. Because like a 3 could also, like when he's a second, when he does it for 4 mana, it's still going to be a 3/3. So.
Yep, it is. Those cards are cool, and I like that they keep going up like that, but
yeah, that makes more sense.
It makes it a little awkward.
Yeah, like that's the only thing. It's hard to keep track of that because as soon as you put a die on there, it's like, is it a +1/+1 counter or is it on level 1? You know, it's it, and there's no real like you could have a sheet of paper that says like level 1 on it, but
is it monstrous?
And Magic is good. It's a sweet game because it likes making things that are either easy to keep track of, or they make the things that can keep track of those things. Like they make tokens or manifest tokens or morph tokens, you know.
Or Rashad wearing a hat tokens.
Yeah, which is, they should just have those in legitimate packs, I think.
It's one opinion.
If I open a pack, I want to see a Rashad with a
Rashad
bee hat on
with
it.
You. Yeah. All right, so Corsair Crew Fix is the follow-up play here. Man, he's got a pair of Obzon Charms in hand. He's got actually just a great turn lined up here. He can just rumble with his Warden and just windmill slam Wingmate Rock here.
Yeah, Wingmate Rock is a pretty solid dude. And he's probably
he is going to block. This interestingly does give Peter the option to use his Obzon Charm to kill the Courser if he wants.
Nah, I think you just want to just.
Yeah,
The option
I
is
don't
still
think
there,
it's the
definitely.
right play. It's just it does actually open that door.
Right.
Yeah. So here we go. Wingmate Rock and Friend. Is there a bird token in there?
Oh, Rashad's got a bird token. You better believe
Oh
it.
my goodness.
Look at that chicken hat.
That is
That is-
something special.
Okay. What
That's
Rashad said it was an
definitely
eagle
not
hat?
an eagle hat.
I'm not sure that's how that works. I don't think he's ever seen an eagle in his life. The eagles have brown beaks, not yellow beaks. But it does look as threatening as an eagle, I would say. God, Courser of Kruvik's just putting lands into play from the top is so good. Can't get over it.
I'm over it.
It's just so good.
It's been so long.
It has been a while. It's been like 2 years almost.
I'm so over it.
No, I guess it's been less than that because it was in the last. Was the last set or was it Born of the Gods?
It's in Born.
Okay. Still been a while. You're not wrong.
All right, so is it time for the big stuff here from Oscar Jones?
1, 2, 3, 5 mana. He's like, I changed my mind.
Well, he's going to have to deal with these Wingmate Rocks. Those are going to kill him in 3 turns if left unchecked and
hard
make
to do
racing
in the
very
Devotion
difficult.
deck.
Yeah.
Like you have a Tarka, but it only takes care of 1 and it costs 7 mana. But he has 2
Tarka
Atarkas
would
in
do
hand.
it. Tarka would certainly do it.
That's actually, this is a good play. Like his next turn is actually, Peter's next turn is actually going to be pretty good because he's going to get a lot of damage in. But once it goes back to Oscar, he can start playing the 2 Dragonlord Atarkas that are in his hand.
Yeah, I mean, those completely shore this situation up. Now, that's a Siege Rhino off the top, though, for Peter, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, no one's ever drawn a Siege Route in, but like, man, I wish this was something else.
Now, if he has an extra land drop, Peter has some pretty cool plays available to him. He can play, it doesn't have the land, it looks like, but he's got a Den Protector. He could have played a Den Protector and kept up Obzon Charm. But now he's going to have to decide between the 2 instead. It looks like
getting back Dromoka's command is not that bad.
And it's not bad. It does take care of the Courser here.
Yeah.
He's going to gain a couple of life and attack for 6, so this is a good productive turn on that front.
And Peter gains 2.
Now, Peter hasn't thought seized or anything. If he knew for sure that Dragonlord Atarka was going to come down, he might take a different line, but he doesn't know. So he's just going to play the biggest, scariest thing he has available to him. Yep. So Siege Rhino drops Oscar Jones down 3 more life and pads Peter Hagedorn's life total further. He passes the turn back, and there is Crater's Claws in hand still from Oscar from his opener. But like you mentioned a minute ago here, Frank, it's going to be all about Dragonlord Atarka.
Yeah, this is Dragonlord Atarka's time. You're just borrowing it. I mean, once he kills one of those Wingmate Rocks, the other one's not going to really be able to swing into it. And Dragonlord Atarka eats any of these other creatures. Plus that Crater's Claws is very good. But, I mean, with both of these decks, this is anybody's game. Like, this game is far from over, so it's no idea how this is going to end.
All right, well, it starts with a Rattleclaw Mystic being turned face up for a couple of mana. Peter surveys the scene.
He nets 1 from Nykthos if he chooses to do that. I think he has exactly 7 mana this turn. He has 3 in the pool. He can use 2 to Nykthos. So he'd go down to 1, but then he would net 4, so that'd be 5. 6. So he has 8 mana, it looks like. I was informed that bald eagles do have yellow beaks, and
yeah, they do.
Perhaps I owe Rashad Miller an apology.
For his chicken hat?
Well,
Doesn't he owe you an apology?
Well, I mean, I think he owes the world an apology for the hat, but nonetheless, if he's going to wear it, we might as well assume that it's an eagle.
Glorify him, that's fair.
Look how proud he looks in that picture, too. That's the best part. That's an American picture. A lot of mana shenanigans going on here.
Come on, Oscar.
He's trying to figure out
Cast a spell, buddy. His
gotta
turn
be a
has
Dragon
taken
Lord.
infinite time.
You can't play that guy. That's the top of your deck.
He's going to crack a fetch
Okay.
land.
Did he play land this turn? Was the fetch land the land?
He just put the fetch land
Okay.
on the bottom of his library. Let's see if he moves it. I don't think he put that in the graveyard. Yeah, he needs. Yeah, what is he doing? Oscar. All right, looks like he's a little rusty here, but we'll get him sorted out. You know, Oscar, the last time he was playing Magic, he was playing Mono Blue Devotion in Standard for a long time. He's kind of been making reappearances here and there.
Yeah, green creatures are... Well, I mean, actually, I feel like this deck is not all that dissimilar from Mono Blue. Like, you're just playing a bunch of small guys and then playing bigger guys.
That's a tough sell.
Yeah, it is. It's a stretch.
I mean, that deck played O1s because they had blue in their mana cost. This deck plays 8/8 flying tramples. The Cloudfin Raptors.
Oh, right. That's correct. He was never an O1
Like,
for
I guess
long.
the difference between the two decks, from my perspective, is that the Mono Blue Devotion deck looked like a bunch of draft leftovers, while this deck looks like a bunch of draft first picks.
Right, okay, that's fair. I think both decks go wide. This deck just happens to go a little bit taller as well. This goes wide up until it goes tall with, like, Dragon Lord Atarka or Crater's Claws to the face for $1 million. Man, if only Dragon Lord Atarka did 6, that would be so good. Actually, that wouldn't do.
Jeez, you're greedy. Have you read that card? If only it did 6. They couldn't have made it a 9/9 flying trample.
Why can't it deal 10
Haste
damage?
hexproof, yeah.
And why can't you deal it to the player as well?
Yeah.
Look, man, I don't know. That seems reasonable to me.
I think dream big, I suppose. All right, so it only does 5, but it died.
He's got another one,
He's got another one in his hand. So a second Obzon Charm to take out the Whisperwood Elemental as well.
I think you just sacrifice it. Yeah, it seems like a no-brainer.
Now, I'm assuming that card down there on the bottom is the Manifest. Is that correct?
I would imagine so.
The card down by his right hand.
Seems a little far.
It does feel...
You're a little far from home, Manifest Token.
Yeah, it does feel like he's not really lined up in the same confusing way that Oscar has lined up the rest of his creatures.
This is the problem with the lands in the back, though, or the lands in the front.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if that's your hand or if it's a Manifest creature.
Wow,
Whoa.
must be nice. It's a Deathless Raptor. You can turn that guy face up.
You can turn that guy face up.
Now, you can do it for cheap or you can do it for expensive. The difference is a +1/+1 counter.
It's true. It depends on what you're willing to pay for that premium.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that poor Warden of the First Tree, he's never going up. He's never getting a promotion.
It usually ends up being like I'm out of gas mana sink, you know?
Yeah, late in the game, I got nothing to do.
Yeah, and it's a great place to
Make
dump
this
a
an
bunch
8/8.
of mana. It does become a threat that must be dealt with individually.
I'm a big fan of Lifelink, too.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Genesis Hydra now on top of the library for Oscar Jones, too, so perhaps a harbinger of more doom here from Peter Hagedorn. He's going to have to close this game out pretty quickly here.
Yeah, Oscar Jones just has a million things that cost 1 million mana in his hand, like Crater's Claws, Atarka, and then the Genesis Hydra coming up. Like, those are all very good threats.
Yeah, unfortunately for Peter, Oscar has 1 million mana to spend.
Oh yeah, that's not an issue at all.
We're just restarting our little graphics at the top there. It wasn't updating.
Gotcha. So life totals are...
They were a little behind.
Okay.
So we're just getting that restarted real quick so we can make sure we have as up-to-date life totals as possible here.
Atarka number dose.
is. He's still staring at that Crater's Claws.
Yep, get rid of the flyer. Seems reasonable. So now if Peter has another way to deal with the Dragonlord Tarka, at least he's able to block all of the ground creatures. And you and I know that manifest creature is a Death Mist Raptor, so. We also know has a Crater's Claws in hand, which is another pretty good threat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4, 5. So you make 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Peter has access to 10 mana, which is actually a Crater's Claws for 11 at this point.
Oscar, you mean?
Yes, Oscar has access to 11 mana. Plus a crater, 11 mana Crater's Claws, rather. So he can deal 11 with Crater's Claws. Attack with the Tarka for 8, so it's 19. That's surprisingly close to dead.
Wow, that is a huge chunk, yeah. So it looks like Peter Hagedorn's played a face-down Morph here, which is probably a Den Protector.
It always is.
Does feel like that's the case.
It's very rare that people cast Death Mist Raptor face down.
Yeah.
It's just not where you want to be with that guy.
All right, Elvish Mystic on top of the library now for Oscar, who just drew that Genesis Hydra, so he's willing, he's ready and raring to go to just fire off a huge Genesis Hydra.
Yeah, like I said, he has should be 9, 10 mana. Makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Nykthos. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You make 11. You can make 11 mana.
Yeah, Genesis Hydra for 9 doesn't feel like it's a bad play to me.
No, that seems pretty good.
Yeah, he awkwardly has not been able to actually get ferocious here. Till he stuck that second copy of...
yeah, the second copy of Tarka. Otherwise, these guys were pretty underwhelming.
Yeah. I mean, the first one gave it to him for a minute, but it immediately died.
Yeah, so this is actually would be a 12-point Crater's Claws. At the point, it would be like... Peter goes to 11, he takes 8 from... He would go to 3 this turn if he attacked with the Tarka and Crater's Claws to his face. But we have to assume that that's a Den Protector, and it can get back Abzan Charm to kill the Tarka.
Yeah, just next turn.
Yeah, or he can get the Dromoka's Command back and just prevent... Actually, yeah. I mean...
If that is a Den Protector, he could do that
turn.
now, yeah.
Alright. I will just cast a 9/9 instead.
And something else. At least an Elvish Mystic.
Yeah, at the very least.
That's your
That's a guarantee. It could be 8 lands and an Elvish Mystic as far as we know.
That's the floor.
Alright, so we got Pelucranos, Xenagos. That's a pretty decent selection.
Yeah, pick your poison, Oscar.
Pelucranos, Xenagos, and Whisperwood Elemental are the relevant cards. Also hit a Genesis Hydra and the Elvish Mystic, bunch of lands.
I think Whisperwood would be the best in this matchup, but
I think so too.
Yeah, we'll see what Oscar decides.
With the amount of mana he has, I can also see getting Pelucranos, but Whisperwood Elemental is going to get you a relevant card this turn in the form of a creature.
Apparently they're going over the mechanics here.
See if we can get them to scoot the cards up a little bit so we can see what's on the other side of Oscar's board. I know he put down something on the right side of Dragonlord Tarka. I assume it was a Whisperwood Elemental, but... Okay, yeah, there we go.
The heck was that? Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is why. This is. I mean,
They're both manifest.
for anyone curious, this is definitely one of the reasons why it's a little better to have your lands in the back because it's harder to make that. Your hand is never mixed in front of your lands.
Yeah,
So
it's just a mess. What he was doing is he was going to his end step and manifesting with Whisperwood Elemental, but he had to reveal it because there's a courser, and he didn't. He just kind of put it down, and then
I wasn't
he
sure if
showed
that
it
was his
to
hand or
him,
not.
and
Actually.
yeah, that's what I thought too.
Okay.
I figured it out now.
Is the Deathmist Raptor that you know about? Is that not a manifest creature? That's just
it
a
is.
morph?
It is a manifest creature.
Okay. See if we can get a counter on that guy too, or a token on that guy to make it a little easier.
Wouldn't be a bad thing. All right, well, Peter has now hit the stage where he can start dumping counters, like actual +1/+1 counters onto his Warden of the First Tree, but as the board sits,
it
not
seems
going
like
to get him there.
Yeah, it seems like if he's spending his mana and time doing that, like, he's just dead in a couple turns.
Well, no, he won't be. So the way it works is you can do it multiple times, right?
Right.
So he can put the first one and it becomes an 8/8 trample lifelink. So that attack doesn't seem great because it trades for the Hydra. Right, but the next
it's on
one,
level 2. You're right. You're right. Okay.
But the next one is
so he's an 8/8, and then he turns
becomes
into
a
13/13, right?
with lifelink,
or
so,
an 18/18.
Yeah, he gets to just rumble and kind of crash into these board states here, and with Peter at 22, it does seem unlikely that Oscar's going to be able to just like one-shot him. So, all right, it was Dromica's command, which is actually just excellent here. It's good against the Creator's Clause that Oscar has that Peter doesn't know about, but it's also kind of cool because it means that Oscar's going to have to commit multiple blocks if there's an attack at some point here. He can also make him sack the Courser, which is doesn't seem super important here, though.
Not the most relevant, but
maybe I'm underestimating it. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Now, was this main phase that he did this, though?
Feels like it. I don't think he's past the turn back.
Yeah, I don't know if I love that part.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Oscar's thinking or drawing a card or anything like that. So
yeah, it's just, I mean, Peter has to use up his mana. He's found a Siege Rhino here, so he will be using up his mana in an efficient way. Oh, Peter, what do you got going on here, buddy? What are you seeing?
Surveying the battlefield.
Dromica's command, fight Whisperwood Elemental, and you sacrifice an enchantment. Okay, well, he got a solid 2-for-1 off of his Dromica's command. It's hard to argue with that.
I feel like I probably would have been more inclined to grab Abzan Charm and get rid of the Atarka, because that's a real hard creature to deal with.
Where did that Creator's Clause go?
Where'd that second manifest creature come from?
I don't know. Okay, so what he did is he sacrificed the Whisperwood Elemental.
Okay.
In response to the fight.
To the Dromoka's command, right?
Command, and then as the Dromoka's command resolves, it makes you sacrifice an enchantment.
Right.
Well, he had sacrificed an enchantment. In this case, it was a creature,
and then you get
so it became a manifest.
Manifest, right?
So that's where that came from.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't know where I don't know where he had a Creator's Clause in his hand. He must have just set it down off camera.
Well, I will assume it still exists.
Certainly relevant at this point, as even though Oscar's down to 4, Peter's down to 14, facing down an 8/8 flyer in the air. And while Peter did have a pretty productive turn last time, somehow he finds his Warden of the First Tree inadequate.
Wow, so another Siege Rhino putting Oscar down to 1.
Jeez.
No, that's a Polukranos.
You know,
that's. I feel like that's going to do a lot of things. How much mana? He's got 1,000,000 mana.
Yeah, that was actually a really tough spot for Peter because Peter actually had an attack with Den Protector there. If he attacked with his Warden and threatened to pump it too, it would have forced the Hydra to block.
I'm not sure if I would have played Siege Runner there. I think I would have just pumped the Den Warden, or the Warden of the first tree, and then pumped it again.
Yeah, well, it looks like he's going to lose here because Atarka gets in.
Yeah, Atarka gets in for the 8, and then...
and then Oscar just shows him the Crater's Claws to finish him off. That was kind of a mess.
A little bit.
That game was a little bit of a mess. It was just hard to, like...
It was hard to...
mechanically speaking,
correct.
It was difficult to
From a
decipher
technical
what
standpoint,
was going
it was
on,
a little cluttered.
But that will do it for the first game. Oscar Jones, who's sitting at 4-0, is one of the good here. Peter Hagedorn, who... I mean, he almost killed him.
That was real close, yeah.
I don't
he
know
was he was at 1. So we're going to check out David Williams on the back table here and see how these guys are doing.
Yeah, let's watch him. Well, let's go.
Well.
We'll see who won. Sign a slip. Do you know if the match was over, producer Josh? We're finding out now.
I like David's watch here.
Got the Apple Watch there?
Yeah.
I'm kind of off it.
I mean, I don't care.
I collect watches.
I like a good watch too.
You
actually.
do too, yeah. So, I don't know. I tried it on. It's cool.
I hate people who are like, "Why do you even wear a watch? Because you have a cell phone." I'm like, that's not even.
Yeah, they just don't get it.
It's not the point of
you
the
just
watch.
let them keep not wearing their watch.
Yeah, you be a non-watch
we get to
wearer,
enjoy more of
and
them for ourselves.
I will keep wearing a watch.
Yeah. Rashad adjusting a few things in the feature match area for us. Thank you for that, Rashad. Was hoping those things would get adjusted. So these players are, of course, going to their sideboards now, where they will be bringing to battle. You got to feel like Peter is going to gain some edge here on the out of the board.
I feel like that first game, like there had to be a way that Peter could have got that one extra damage in. You know, I feel like there was a decision. There was a decision you had to be able to make that would have gotten one more point in, you know?
Yeah, or just not die. Like, you know, he didn't have, you know, he was in a tough spot, but he did have the ability on 2 separate turns to pump his Warden.
Yeah, 8 points of lifelink is huge.
Yeah, and if you can survive the turn and attack with it the next turn as an 8/8, it forces some super awkward blocks. And Oscar Jones, his deck is not set up to beat a 13/13.
Not many are.
No,
I mean he doesn't have Abzan Charm. Abzan Charm is a great answer for it, but he doesn't have it. So he's like
he doesn't have any of that kind of stuff.
But like I think the other questionable play that I thought was Peter getting the Dramokus command.
Yeah.
I mean, like sure it's a 2-for-1, but I'd rather have a 1-for-1 than the 1-for-1. The one you're getting is a Dragonlord Atarka. You know, like that's just a creature you can't deal with.
Right.
Like I don't care about killing a Courser of Crewfix.
And even a Whisperwood.
Yeah, like neither of those creatures are super relevant at the moment. I mean, I guess Whisperwood's good, but I think you're gonna more quickly die to an 8/8 flyer than you are to a 4/4 that makes some 2/2s. I think. But you know, it's also different when you're in the games as well. You want to keep that in mind because it's much harder to make these decisions when there's 1,000 things going on.
Yeah, well, you know, as we'll see over the course of the weekend, the person who makes those decisions better in the moment is going to be the ones who come out on top.
Yeah, that's Magic.
Yeah, that's the deal.
Magic is literally just making the best decision at a given time. And doing so consistently as well.
Right. I mean, it's no secret that Magic's an incredibly difficult game.
Oh yeah, no one argues that.
Nobody harbors that delusion.
Unless you're not very good, in which case then you don't realize.
You know, that is actually funny that you say that. That is true. There is a large group of people who find Magic quite easy.
Yeah, but they just don't know that they're not doing it correctly. Yeah. Right. Ignorance is bliss there.
Thinking about joining that crowd, it looks like a lot more fun than the one I'm in.
Which one?
The ignorant.
The ignorance
crowd.
is bliss crowd.
Yeah.
I won't tell you. I won't tell you differently. Because that would remove the illusion.
Yeah, Oscar's originally from Utah. neighboring state to where we are now.
Yeah. Pacific Northwest. Westerners, you and I.
This is the Southwest. You don't group us in with that.
No, I called us Pacific Northwesterners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm in for that.
Yeah. No, this is not. This is. It's only 2.5 hours away, but it's not. It's not close.
Yeah, but it's in an airplane.
That's right. 2.5 hours away in an
Yeah.
airplane is not the same as
Right.
2.5 hours geographically.
Right.
And if you guys are looking for any more strategic Magic the Gathering content, head over to TCGPlayer.com. We have deck lists, strategy, the best prices on cards, and the largest marketplace for trading cards in general. So if you guys are looking for any sort of Magic-related gear, head on over to TCGPlayer.com.
Nice work. That wasn't a recording.
Or was it?
No, really wasn't.
I can do my Maximus Decimus Meridius for you again if you'd like.
I was impressed by that.
He was father to a murdered son, you know.
I'm keenly aware.
It was a tragic story.
All right, let's jump over to see what old Dave Williams is up to. Him and his Apple Watch are battling here.
Before you saw this match, if you were asked what kind of basic lands do you think David Williams would play, what would you say?
Guru.
Okay. Maybe Guru. I think Beta would be a very close second, though.
Yeah, no, I know he plays betas because I do too. Him and I have similar tastes when it comes to basics. Yeah.
I actually tried to pick up betas recently, but they were. Since I have Unhinged, I was like, I don't feel like investing in the betas because
I know a place where you can get them.
Really?
Yeah, the largest
I'll hit
online
see what you're
card
doing there.
marketplace. Or
What's that place called?
TCGPlayer.com.
Fantastic. I'll check.
I'm
that
trying to
place
help you
out.
out here, Frank.
I appreciate it.
A little teamwork here.
I like it. You set him up, I'll knock him down.
Yeah, that is how this works. At least in theory.
Man, Siege Rhino is a heck of a thing.
So this is Eduardo Sajgalik on the right-hand side, by the way. He is a notable player out of England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here for the Grand Prix, I imagine, and hung around for the Invitational.
For a lot of gaming.
Yes, a ton of gaming.
He's been doing gaming during the weekend.
Oh, man, cut that Siege Rhino wide open. That's brutal. That's poaching at its worst.
Turned it into a tauntaun, did it?
That is not okay. Well, unless David Williams goes and sleeps in that thing, I don't think... it's not exact, but it's close.
I'll take it. Assuming it made a similar sound.
Oh man, now I'm
Yeah,
imagining a Siege Rhino making the tauntaun noise
Oh yeah, we get graphic here on the stream.
As it shuffles off this mortal coil.
We do not mess around here on GG's Live.
No way, it's magic commentary and tauntaun noises all day.
All right, Fleece Mane Lion and
Dave's 1 man away from
Dave's 1 man off.
Monstrous. Look at that Siege Rhino. They always come in packs, man. It's always a crash of rhinos with these guys.
It's true.
Yeah. It's. I feel like it is. I feel like no one ever has one Siege Rhino.
You said you and Melissa had a rule about Courser.
Yes.
This is another one.
It's another rule. Yeah, these are both
hard and fast.
If someone has a Siege Rhino, they will at least have one more, if not two. And when you have a Courser in play, there will always be a Sylvan Caryatid on top, unless it's a second Siege Rhino. That's the
right.
That's
There's
the
a hierarchy
overriding
here. Yeah. All right. So Hero's Downfall is going to kill the Fleece Mane Lion, and Eduardo's going to make sure that he gets that thing out of the way before Monstrous comes online, and we'll jump back over to our main match. I'm not going to lie, I think I was enjoying that other one a little bit more. Just mainly for pace of play.
Yeah, they were playing very clean and very quickly.
Like this one was fine, but
it's not their first rodeos.
Yeah.
There was a lot of attacking, a lot of blocking going on.
All right, well, here's Peter. Once again, ready to rumble with that jacket. Look at the leaf on that thing.
That is a crisp leaf. And look, there's a branch at the top.
Oh, yeah, he's a tree. Peter Hagedorn, tree folk. Yeah, this is great. That small competitive edge. What does Peter have for his opener here, though? He went Sandstep Citadel into 2 lands. Oh, Death Dealer.
That's a dude.
He's also got a fleece dad, so he can go either direction that he wants here.
I like that you just called him a fleece dad.
Yeah. There it is.
Little fleece daddy.
Fleece main. Oh, this is a good start for Peter.
Did you see
Nothing out of Oscar? Oscar mulligan to 5.
Did you see the disgust Oscar had when he threw that forest out there? He was just like,
yeah, he can't be happy.
I do not need you, forest. Yeah.
He cannot be happy with the way that this game has started. That's for sure.
Death dealer.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
What's that?
Both of these creature types are cats.
Yeah, you're right. One's a cat demon.
That's a little worse.
Yeah, but you're right.
Look at that beautiful flowing mane on that fleece mane line.
Cat tribal. Thoughtseize.
It's a real goofy Pluto situation.
You're going to want to tap your mana here, though. There we go.
This is
Whoa, that is a handful of action at least.
That's a full house right there, buddy.
Double yeah, you're right. Wow.
You got the Polukranos over Whisperwood elementals there.
Yeah, full of Whisperwoods.
What do you even take there?
I think you take a Whisperwood.
Because you can only play one Polukranos.
Right.
Wow, that's a...
What, did he take all 3 Polukranos? He took a Polukranos?
Oh, man.
I don't love that pick.
I don't... that was just a lesser of two evils right there.
I mean, Oscar Jones effectively mulliganed to 2.
That's real rough.
You just unmulligan him a little bit further, but whatever. I don't think it'll matter this game. It looks like
I don't even think that's
Peter
an unmulligan. I think that's still bad.
Is it?
I mean, it's not better, I guess.
Yeah. But he's going to regret it if he can't close the door on this thing.
There's a lot of kitty cat death
If this
machines.
is not a land in the game, it's another Polukranos.
The 4th Polukranos.
Poor Oscar Jones just can't escape.
The next card's a Nykthos.
The World Eater. That is just ridiculous. All right, well,
like
why don't we jump
Eater.
back over to Dave Williams and Eduardo's match and see what they're up to. They were kind of cruising right along in there. Oh, and they certainly haven't. My goodness, these guys play quickly.
These guys clean up. They're like, no, just one creature at any given time, guys.
Look at this board state. Or look at the graveyards is what I meant to say. It's just loaded.
This is just blow for blow, apparently,
kidding.
because these graveyards are loaded and they're all like, I'll play a guy, I'll kill your guy, I'll play a guy, I'll kill your guy. Just back and forth.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being in Dave Williams' seat here,
Yeah,
though.
that seems... Oh, well, there's a Siege Rhino. Abzan Charm, too. Those are both good cards.
And a Den Protector and a Hero's Downfall.
Okay, well...
Can I switch seats? Is it too late?
Yeah, I think you spoke too soon there.
I might have. Looks like Eduardo is firmly in control of this one. He's going to go Siege Rhino here.
Because why not? Because who doesn't?
Well, yeah, and this puts him in the spot where he can try to set up his Hero's Downfall to be awesome. And Dave had none of it. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave's old school. He doesn't like using dice unless they're counters.
He's like, nah, man. This does not get dice.
I'm actually like that, too.
It doesn't say put a counter on it.
Yeah, it doesn't. And,
that guy died.
So you shouldn't. Yeah, it also didn't matter.
And Rhino, yeah.
And Dave Williams puts the hand on the head. You can see that he's miserable here.
He's not having a good time.
And if he has every reason to be, as Eduardo seems to be rolling to the victory here in pretty impressive fashion. Plays a Den Protector and...
That's a Sorin.
Sorin? Is it too late?
Might be Sorin to a concession.
Yeah,
yep,
that's going to do it. And the
big
big handshakes, that's it.
Old big shakes.
So Eduardo Sajgalik picks up the win.
Where does
over
that put,
David Williams, and Eduardo actually had a draw, which is I'm kind of shocked to see that after seeing how quickly he played here.
They were just brumming along.
Yeah, but he did pick up a draw. It looks like he was on 7 match points coming in.
This is round 5. Looks like David was 3-1, so David goes down to 3-2, unfortunately.
Yeah, the match we're watching here, our main match. These players are both undefeated.
They're undefeated, yeah.
They were both 4-0 coming in. There were 4 undefeated players coming into the round. These 2 gentlemen plus Paulo Vitor Dama Rosa. Excuse me, there were actually 5 undefeated players. Rob Paisano and Simon Harnden were all undefeated. Oren Swift has a draw. Same thing with Robbie Chan. I'm assuming that they drew with each other. Yeah.
And if you guys want to play some more hot standard action, because fire breathing here, apparently. Head on over to the Standard State Championships on October 17th and 18th, coming up in a couple months. And not only can you qualify yourself for the $50,000 TCG Player Max Point Championship, but you can also qualify yourself for the TCG Player Max Point Invitational. Two $50,000 events, and you get to claim the title of state champion.
A lot of big names have fallen pretty quickly here too. Coming
By
in
the wayside.
Yeah, coming into this round at just 3 match points. Alexander Hain, I see Ruben Bressler on here, Gabby Sparks, Caleb Durward, Craig Wesco.
Yeah, Craig was not doing so hot, unfortunately.
Andy Beckstrom, who's our defending champ, doesn't look like he's going to be running it back this time.
And every time I asked for record and they were like, "Oh, I'm like 2-3 right now, or we're 1-3 or 1-2-2." I was just like, "Well, I mean, look at the competition. Like, it's not an easy, a lot of some guys are like, I'm going to just go to the Invitational. It's going to be, an easy field, and I don't think so. I think that is not the way this worked out.
Oh no, this field has been the real deal for sure. You were going to have to beat some highly skilled players to get through this.
Oh yeah, 100%.
All right, Peter's shuffling here, doing his best impression of it at least.
And Oscar's looks like he's got his opening hand already.
So maybe Pete's on a mulligan.
Maybe Pete's on a mulligan. Oscar would be playing first, so he probably decided to keep while Peter is going down to 6, I would assume.
Well, let's hope Peter can keep on 6 here.
Yeah,
I mean, it was tough for Oscar last time. He didn't really get to play, but and Peter's been playing
going
his
to 5
guts out here.
Not good.
All right, so Peter's like, come on, 6. Give me a keeper. Let me fight this round.
Yep, that's a 6. All right, so he did mulligan.
All right, let's see if he's got a keeper here. Yeah, he does. He has Thoughtseize, Fleecemane, Lion, and Land. So can't ask for much more than that.
Yeah, it's the best you can get. I mean, you're not going to mull to 5 and hope that you get 3 lands, 2 spells.
Jeez,
like
and
that's just...
the hits keep coming.
Yeah, that was a pretty
All
good
of his
top
lands are untapped as well, so he can curve Thoughtseize into Fleecemane into Death Dealer here quite cleanly. So
the old start on 17, Llanowar Wastes into play tapped.
Whoa. That's a heck of a hand there for Jones.
Oh, you 100% take you take that Sylvan Caryatid.
Snapped off the Caryatid.
Instant take Caryatid when you have like 4-drop, 5-drop, 4-drop, X-drop.
He wants to write down the rest of the contents of Oscar's
Yeah, Oscar
hand.
has to draw runner for this hand. With only 1 land and a bunch of 4 and 5 drops, like that's... What's that guy? Arbor Colossus. Oh, okay. That's the old Arby's Colossus.
All right. Probably just cross that forest right off of there. Oh! Is it good to be you, Oscar Jones?
He
nice
still needs
draw.
1 more land, but...
Yeah, that helped huge.
That did help. I mean, that's what he needed. That's 50% of what he needed.
All right, so Peter's going to go grab a Plains and play a Fleecemane, I'm assuming.
Also, Peter's starting at 15, essentially. Takes 1 from the Llanowar Waste, takes 1 from the Windswept Heath, takes 1 from the Waste again, and takes 2 from the Thoughtseize.
Whoa, no.
Probably get a Plains. Well, see, you get a Plains, you can't cast Death Dealer, but if you
but he
get a Forest, you can't cast Fleecemane. So you just have to prioritize what you're getting here.
I mean, look at his hand, though. All right. I like casting Fleecemane there just because you get to rumble next turn without having to potentially tie up your mana, and you get to get in there for more damage.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
let's see, maybe he doesn't play Plains. Let's look.
There's got to be 1 Plains.
I mean, I figure 2. He's
Plains.
got 2 of them.
Yeah, he's definitely like. He also has 1 in his hand, so that's probably another reason why he didn't want to grab 1 from the deck.
I think he'd just play it, but...
Is that a self-inflicted wound? That's very good. Especially with Oscar missing a land drop.
Is it? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
So you take 2, take another 2.
Yuck.
Rattleclaw's dead. You're still 2 mana away from any of your spells in hand.
He's got to play his land for the turn. It looks like Oscar's eager, let's just say, to get to his draw step. So...
And Temple's like the perfect land for that turn.
Yeah, so what is Oscar's life total? It's not 21.
Oscar just drew a Hornet Queen. Oh, boy.
Wow, Oscar with major mana issues. I think Oscar's at 17.
I think he's at 15
now. He's at 15.
Yep, I think now he's at 12.
All right, land off the top for Jones. Time of the round has just been called, though once again that doesn't actually apply to our feature match players.
Okay, these guys have an extra 7 minutes because of the feature matches and whatnot. They start a little bit later. They get a little time extension. So, all right. So tagging for 6, 7, 8, putting Oscar to 4.
Yeah.
And even if see, here's the thing. Even if he draws a land and plays Polukranos, he's still dead to either of these creatures because they're both 4 power.
That is correct. I don't think he has realistic
outs. And
outs
that's even
here.
worse.
That's also another lethal threat, by the way.
Yes, he can just monstrous that guy. All these cards cost. All these cards deal 4.
Yep.
This is just a formality that you're playing this guy.
Yep. And all he has to do is attack with the team here. And
not even going to let you do that.
Whatever. And that's going to do it. Peter Hagedorn improves to 5-0.
That's a
perfect
pretty
start
record.
for Pete here. He's ready to do business. And Oscar Jones is going to have to settle for a loss out of this
his opponents
can't
see him coming, that's why.
Yeah?
That's camouflage humor.
That's Peter. Oh, he's ready. All right, well, that's going to do it for the 5th round of action.